Hey, it's Mr. Groff, and we're going to talk about integer division today. Our essential question today is the quotient of two integers, positive, negative, or zero. Only one vocab word, division. And when we talk about division, we're talking about taking a quantity and breaking it down into equal-sized groups. It has several symbols. It can be the line with the dot above and below. It can be the slash, and it can be the fraction bar. Every division problem can be written as a fraction. For example, 3 divided by 4 is equal to 3/4. And also every fraction can be solved as a division problem. So if we took 3 divided by 4, we would get 0.75. When we read division problems that have integers in them, we're going to need to pay attention to that negative sign, and we're going to need to interpret it a little bit differently. Okay, so you've always learned, right? So if you have 10 divided by 2, we typically say that, 10 divided by 2. And what that means is you take the quantity of 10 and you break it into two equal-sized groups, right? So if you take 10, you divide by 2, you get 5. So when we throw the integers in there, when we throw some negative numbers in there, remember that negative symbol can mean take the opposite of. Take the opposite of. It makes everything that follows it flip. So if I have a negative 10 divided by 2, what that means is take the opposite of 10 and split it into two equal groups. 10 divided by negative 2 is taking the quantity of 10, and I'm going to still split it into two groups, but those groups are going to become the opposite of what they once were. And same thing here with negative 10 divided by negative 2. Again, I'm going to take the opposite of 10, I'm going to split that into two groups again, but those groups then become the opposite of what they were. When we practice with division, a bar model, sometimes called the tape model, is the best way to show how division works. So again, 10 divided by 2. So what we learned before, here's a quantity of 10. We split it into two equal groups. So we take that bar here, we split it right down the middle, and we get one group of 5 and another group of 5. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. The rule is a positive divided by a positive will always equal a positive quotient. In this problem, we have negative 10 divided by 2. So our quantity is a negative 10. But we go about it the same way. We take that quantity of negative 10, we split it into two equal groups, and in each one of those groups, we have a negative 5 and a negative 5. So negative 10 divided by 2 equals a negative 5. Our rule is a negative divided by a positive equals a negative. So what happens when we take a positive number and we divide by a negative? So here's 10 divided by negative 2. Here's my quantity of 10, same idea. Break it into two equal-sized groups. That gives me two groups of 5. But because my divisor is negative, I have to take that quotient and I have to flip it. So it was positive, but because I'm dividing by negative 2, it now becomes negative. So 10 divided by negative 2 equals negative 5. So the rule is a positive divided by a negative equals a negative. And what if we have a negative divided by a negative? So here's negative 10 divided by negative 2. Again, same idea, break it into two equal groups. I get two groups of negative 5. But again, because that divisor is negative, that 2 is negative, what that means is I have to take that symbol and I've got to flip it to the opposite. And the opposite of negative is positive. So negative 10 divided by negative 2 is actually positive 5. The rule is a negative divided by a negative equals a positive.